All right. So welcome to our joint pain masterclass this evening. I'm so excited. Tonight, we're going to talk about the 3 key reasons nothing is relieving your joint pain and what to do about it. So as I mentioned, this is an interactive training. So we're going to have a conversation together. So make sure you keep that chat box open as we go through, okay? All right, let's dive into the masterclass. So before we get started, let me just, I've shared my screen here. I know we all know how to multitask, and many of you are probably a lot better at it than I am. I fail completely when it comes to doing 2 things at once, it seems. But you're here today because you want to learn about how to alleviate your joint pain without having to rely on yet more medications or any of the other measures that aren't working for you. So basically, we want to slow down the aging process and to age better, right? So it's super important that you block out all distractions and give this time to devote to yourself and to your health. So maybe put your phone in the other room if you need to, close all those tabs on the computer. I know I usually have about 20 of them open at one time. And maybe even put a do not disturb sign on your door if you need to. All right, well, just kidding about that last one anyway, but it's so rare these days that we can give anything our undivided attention. But you're here for a reason, and I want to make sure that you're able to focus on the training. So please turn off all the distractions and keep an open mind to what I'm about to say. So maybe you've heard this expression before. The same old thinking will get you the same results. What I want to talk to you about today will ask you to think about things a little bit differently than you may have before, about your health, about what you can do about it, or what you've heard about joint pain management in your reading or from others. I'm going to talk to you about how to skip over some of the mistakes that I made during my journey, to open your mind to the possibility that there are different ways to thinking about your health and healing. So instead of asking, will this work for me? Start to ask how. Because when you ask that first question, will it work? That's either a yes or no answer. If you ask how, it opens up your mind to growth and change. So do me a favor, type yes in the chat if you're open to a new way of thinking and transformation and growth. All right, I got a bunch of yeses there. That's awesome. Yes, yes. Patricia says yes. Roberta, excellent. Anna, wonderful. So my promise to you today, by the end of this training, I'm going to show you how you can alleviate your joint pain, stop relying on painkillers, topical rubs, and steroid injections that only give short-term relief, and get back to doing all the things you love to do. Sounds like fun, right? Sounds good. So we want to do 2 things. We want to help heal the damage that's already been done and slow down that aging process. So specifically, you're going to discover why what you've been doing for years to relieve your stiff, painful joints doesn't work. And instead, I'm going to walk you through what does. So imagine being able to skip over all the Googling, trial and error, and just do what works. So I know when I learned the steps that I'm going to share with you, it changed my life. It certainly changed my clients' lives, and now it can change yours too. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Okay, good, good. And I'm going to ask you I'm going to mute you, okay, so that I can do without disruption. As I said, remember, I can't multitask really well. I get distracted. All right. So it certainly changed my lives and that of my clients. So if that sounds good to you, type yes in the chat. Let me see who's up for some transformation and listening to some new things. All right. Oh, Anna gave a yes, yes. I like that. Patricia, yes. Awesome. Excellent. All right. So before we dive in any further, let me know if you can answer any of these questions with a yes. All right. Do you feel like you're being sidelined from doing things you love to do with friends and family because you can't keep up? Are you tired of hearing, you just need to live with the pain and accept that it's a normal part of getting older, either from your friends, others around you, or even your doctor? Or maybe you're worried that what is tolerable right now is going to get worse until simple daily tasks like taking out the garbage, although I'm not sure I really want to do that anyway, or going shopping, or climbing up that flight of stairs just one more time becomes intolerable. Or are you resorting to smelly ointments or gels, supplements, or cortisone injections, anything that promises even temporary relief? Or maybe you're relying on taking medications with their potential long-term side effects. Type yes in the chat if you answered yes to any of these. Yeah. Okay, good, good. Getting some yeses here. That's great. So if you're nodding your head yes in agreement to any of these points, I promise you, I am not a mind reader. I've either done these things myself or I've heard of them from my clients. And I promise you, whatever it is that you're doing and it's not working, it's not your fault. It's really hard to know what's right and who to trust. And if you feel anything like I did back at the start of my healing journey, I would have done just about anything to get rid of my stiff, painful joints and the fear that it would never get better. Except nothing seemed to work. So what I'm about to share with you is the fastest way to wake up every day after a good night's sleep, looking forward to getting out of bed without the thought of nagging pain, to stop relying on yet more Tylenol, additional medications to those you already take, or more of those so-called miracle supplements. You'll be able to open up jars again or turn a doorknob. In other words, do the simple tasks that you used to take for granted, right? Or maybe your fondest desire is just to be able to get down on the floor and play with your grandkids. And you'll be able to stop worrying that there's nothing you can do to prevent your pain and fatigue. So tell me in the chat which scenario that I just mentioned is what you really want. Which one best describes why you showed up today? I'll give you a minute to put that in. I know for many of my clients, just being able to play with their grandkids is a big incentive. And I can totally understand that. Stop taking Advil. Yes. Okay, Patricia. Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of these resonate with all of us. We've all tried them. Wake up less stiff and stop taking a leave. Exactly. Morning is the hardest, isn't it? Stop using my magic bag. Ooh, I'm gonna have to find out about that. Okay. Well, okay. Before we go on any further, maybe I should formally introduce myself. I know I've been talking for a while now already, so maybe that would be a good idea. So, hi, I'm Evie Schweig. I'm a certified holistic health coach, and I specialize in inflammation, and I have over 15 years of experience in the health field. Prior to learning about how important nutrition and lifestyle are in maintaining good health, I worked as a medical researcher at Harvard Medical School and then as a medical illustrator at Tufts University in Boston. I'm also the creator and founder of the Joint Pain Protocol, where I get to support women 50 and older suffering from stiff, painful joints to achieve relief naturally so they can stop relying on pain medications and get back to doing the things they love. I'm also an avid gardener and love to cook. Now, that doesn't mean that I am a trained chef by any means. Coming from a big Italian family, I just love to cook. And most times you can either find me in my modest garden outside or cooking up delicious anti-inflammatory meals in my kitchen. And I'm eagerly awaiting my next role as a grandmother, but no signs of that on the horizons just yet. So I'm waiting for that one. So I'm far from perfect, but I'm always striving to do better. My own history with osteoarthritis has taught me to be patient with myself and with others. I like to think I bring this perspective to my work and when dealing with my clients. My motto is progress, not perfection. I truly believe that small steps eventually lead to big change. And I know how frustrating chronic pain can be. And that's what makes me passionate about helping other women suffering with the same kind of pain that I had. I help them find natural solutions instead of resorting to yet more painkillers being prescribed to them or randomly selecting the internet for the next or searching the internet for the next miracle cure. So 20 years ago in my 40s, I was already struggling with pain. Every morning I'd wake up to excruciating back pain. I was working out, swimming, doing yoga, doing the things that I thought were supposed to be good for alleviating my pain, but not even that seemed to do anything. And then my hips started hurting. I remember I dreaded standing up after sitting for periods of time because it hurt so much. I took up Pilates. I'd feel great after classes, but that relief never seemed to last. And on top of all of this, I felt tired and bloated all the time. Things that I didn't even realize might be related to what was causing my joint pain as well. So I figured I just had to accept the genetic cards that I'd been dealt. You see, as I mentioned, I come from a large Italian family, and that comes with a history of arthritis. So growing up, we spent a lot of time together, usually eating around a big dining room table. And I vividly remember listening to my grandmother and her many sisters, my great aunts, complaining to each other about their achy arthritic hands and feet. They'd compare their swollen knuckles and ask what medications their doctors had recommended to them that week. So naturally, I figured having achy joints and complaining about them was just a normal part of getting older. But as a 40-year-old, I already felt like an older version of myself. On the outside, I was 40, but the person inside of me felt ancient. So I got into a regular routine of icing and stretching, but the minute I got off schedule, bam, the pain was back again. I saw doctors and chiropractors, tried cortisone shots and physical therapy. Things would seem better for a while, but then the pain would come back. So tell me in the chat, does anyone else feel that way? I'm sure I'm not the only one who thought I was doing all the right things, but not finding any lasting relief. Yes, yes, okay, right? I know, we try and try. Absolutely. So there I was feeling powerless to make meaningful change. And I decided to take control of my health and not accept what I thought was my genetic fate. After all, what I was doing wasn't working, right? There had to be a better way. So there wasn't one magic deciding moment for me, though. It really didn't come all at once. I was just tired of all the things that didn't work, the over-the-counter medications, the topicals that only seemed to give temporary relief, ice packs, massage, chiropractic appointments. As I said, there had to be a better way. I wasn't looking for a quick fix or a magic bullet. I just wanted to deal with what was causing my pain and slow down the aging process. It didn't matter how long it took me or what I had to do. I wanted to heal, not just temporarily dampen the pain. So I made a decision that I was going to figure out how to get relief from my stiff, painful joints, get my energy back, and look forward to a vibrant future again. And that's when I started the journey that got me to where I am here today. Here with you, sharing the methodology that I use and teach my clients so that they can skip over the years of trial and error and the struggle that I went through. So they no longer suffer from aching joints that are keeping them from living their active lives and the daily exhaustion and frustration that goes with it. That decision I made way back in my 40s led me to understand that what I'd been doing all those years wasn't the right answer. I'm so grateful that I made that decision to invest in myself. So today, at the age of 63, I'm not relying on over-the-counter medications and worrying about their long-term effects, or constantly using messy, smelly creams, gels, or ointments. I did try icy hot and Voltaren, if those sound familiar, or looking for the perfect pair of shoes that aren't ugly, but don't make my feet hurt, and not dreading day-to-day tasks or running errands like shopping or doctor's appointments. Although I must admit, I do occasionally ask my husband to open a stubborn jar. I love to quote Oprah here when she says, "When you know better, you do better." So even though I'm now able to say that my pain isn't stopping me from being active and doing all the things I want to do, I still have to be mindful of my health. In fact, full disclosure here, I'm 1 year post-hip replacement, and I suspect the damage was due from an accident that I had when I was younger, but it still progressed and led me to that eventual surgery. Had I started my health transformation earlier, maybe I might have been able to avoid this. I don't know. And I don't know what your circumstances are. But what I do know is that I was told that I was a perfect candidate with an excellent prognosis because I was in such good health. And my other hip, it's still in great shape. I'm encouraged now to continue with my program to keep this hip in good condition and avoid more surgery. I feel great today. I bounced back quickly from surgery, and I'm able to do all the things I love, including visiting the Galapagos Islands and climbing in Machu Picchu this summer. I can truly say that I'm enjoying my best life, but it took years to figure it all out. I had to unlearn what I had been told about how to resolve pain and tested out so many different methods to see which one worked for me and my body. It wasn't easy, and things didn't come overnight. In fact, I struggled. You see, there were no programs out there that I could tap into. I opened up my mind to the teaching of Eastern thought as well as Western medicine to find out how to heal my body. I Googled and read and experimented, and then I Googled again. And remember, back then, the internet wasn't anything like it is today. It took a lot of time and energy and patience. And there was no way I could have developed my program, the Joint Pain Protocol, without having invested in my professional education and becoming an expert in managing chronic inflammation. But I was fully committed to figuring it out. I was determined not to go back to my old ways. What I discovered through all the trial and error was that it wasn't that I had bad genes or that I had no choice but to resort to pain meds or needed to seek out the one magic pill that would cure my pain. No one specific therapy was going to minimize my pain, nor was eating one specific food or taking a miracle supplement. I discovered that none of those things were helpful unless I dealt with the real cause of my pain. I learned that chronic inflammation was at the root of all of this. And once I started to address the inflammation causing my pain, everything changed for me. And I want to share how I did all of that with you so you can skip over the trial and error too. Because there is a simpler way to get lasting relief from swollen, stiff joints and the many symptoms of inflammation so that you can get back to doing the normal day-to-day activities you used to enjoy, whether that's going on walks, hiking, gardening, or traveling, or resuming hobbies like knitting or crocheting, or even doing day-to-day tasks like opening a simple jar. So type yes in the chat if you want to get back to doing your favorite things and find a simpler way of doing that. All right. Anna says yes. Patricia says yes. Awesome. I'm so excited. That's great. So before we dive into the 3 reasons I promised you, I want to share a short case study with you because I truly believe that you can't model what you don't see. It's so important for me to reinforce your transformation mindset by giving you examples of everyday people just like you who started out feeling the same way as you do now, knowing that they wanted a change. If they could find a way to manage their joint pain and fatigue, you can too. So meet Diane. Excuse me. That slide just jumped over there. Meet Diane. Diane had come to me after years of struggling with debilitating pain in her hands and feet. Her morning ritual included enjoying a fresh brewed mug of coffee, but lately, just lifting that mug was causing her pain. She suffered from poor sleep and had a hard time getting through the day without longing for a nap. The last straw was when her right knee began to bother her as well, and her doctor diagnosed her with arthritis. She was shocked. She told me she had always tried to remain active and eat healthy. She felt she had been doing all the right things. So why was this happening to her, she asked. The over-the-counter medication she was taking temporarily lessened her pain, but she was concerned about the possible side effects from long-term use. Diane was feeling stuck and overwhelmed. All the things she was trying simply weren't working. And that's when she came to me. After working with me, Diane learned that what foods and simple mindful habits to adopt to reduce the inflammation that was causing her knee pain. And just as importantly, she learned which foods and activities to avoid. She said, in her words, "I was suffering from joint pain, low energy, and poor sleep. Evie provided great guidance and coaching to eat the right anti-inflammatory foods for my body. Evie's program works. After only 2 weeks, I had less joint pain and more energy, and I slept great." Thanks, Diane. Like so many of my new clients, Diane struggled not only with painful joints and fatigue, but with one of the most common beliefs about making a change. And that is, I've tried everything. Why will this be different, right? So rather than focus on those things that aren't working, I empower my clients to focus on effective strategies that address joint pain naturally and pinpoint the obstacles hindering their progress. So now imagine yourself getting back to doing the things you love, whether that's crafting or cooking or biking, whatever, without being limited by pain and lack of mobility. Filling your social calendar again, getting out of the house and participating in outings and events. Being a grandparent that's actively involved in all of your grandchildren's special occasions and everyday activities. And experiencing the joy and freedom that comes with traveling again, without worrying about whether you won't be able to keep up with your traveling companions. Type me in the chat box if this is what you'd love to achieve with more mobility and less pain. All right, Roberta, me, absolutely. Wonderful. Now, let's get to the 3 reasons nothing is relieving your joint pain and what to do about it. What do you say? Should we do it? Okay. All right, here we go. Core concepts. Reason number 1. The number 1 reason that nothing is relieving your joint pain is what you're doing isn't addressing the root cause of your pain. I alluded to this a little bit earlier. The real reason conventional therapies don't have a permanent effect on joint pain is because they don't address what's causing the pain in the first place. So chronic inflammation is at the core of long-term joint pain. Managing inflammation at a surface level, it's just not enough to affect the healthful transformation. So instead of just calming your joint pain, we need to discover why your immune system is responding this way in the first place. So let me know in the chat box if you've tried one or more of these to ease your joint pain. You've taken multiple over-the-counter pain relievers like Motrin or Advil, Aleve, or Tylenol. You've used messy or smelly creams, gels, or ointments, such as maybe Icy Hot or BioFreeze. Tiger Balm is one. Or maybe products such as Aspercreme. Tried that one, and Voltaren. I've used that. Salonpas, Hempvana, or Blue Emu, or some others that are very popular. Maybe you tried icing the area or using hot packs to relieve the pain. Or used orthotics or toe spacers or braces. All of those I've tried, and resorted to ugly corrective shoes. Yeah. All part of it, right? Or maybe you sought alternative therapies such as massage, chiropractic, acupuncture, acupressure, physical therapy, or weight training. Tell me which of these you may have tried. I've got yeses there.
Right.
Just taking a break for a sip of water here. All right. Almost all of them. Weight training. Right. I've tried all of them. Oh, exactly. Exactly. So let's talk a minute about why you aren't getting long-term relief from these methods, shall we? And what these all have in common. They all are temporary, short-term solutions to your joint pain. Painkillers and topical gels work by blocking the enzymes that cause swelling and pain. Icing can help by constricting the blood vessels and decreasing circulation to the area, while orthotics and braces simply restrict the use of the joint so you don't feel the pain. But when the medications wear off or the braces are taken off, the pain returns, right? It was always there. It was just being masked by these treatments. And the same can be true for alternative therapies. As my chiropractor once told me way back in the beginning of my journey, she could adjust me every time I came in for a temporary fix. But until I made other adjustments to my lifestyle and addressed the root cause of the pain, it would continue to return. Which means in order to effectively alleviate joint discomfort, we need to go to the source of the pain, and that's chronic inflammation. And in other words, when chronic inflammation is reduced, pain is reduced. It's as simple as that. So let's take a quick look at what chronic inflammation is and why it's causing your pain, shall we? All right. So there can be many reasons for a joint to hurt. The pain can be due to overuse of muscles or an injury such as a sprained ankle that you can see here on the left. This pain, though, tends to be temporary, and it usually can be treated with rest, physical therapy, and medication. This type of inflammation is known as acute inflammation. And in most cases, measures such as the ones that we just discussed can really be helpful. However, the inflammation causing long-term joint pain, like the one you're experiencing, is different. This type of inflammation is chronic. It can be attributed to health conditions such as gout or osteo or rheumatoid arthritis. You may have heard of those. Lupus, bursitis, fibromyalgia, infections such as Lyme disease, or even certain cancers, to name a few. Now, these may all seem like very different causes for your joint pain, stiffness, and fatigue, but surprisingly, they all have one thing in common, and that is chronic inflammation at its root. And it's not going to just go away. So unlike acute inflammation that can be accompanied by severe pain from an injury, much like that sprained ankle we're looking at, chronic inflammation develops slowly over time, over years, actually. Its symptoms aren't as pronounced, so at least in the early stages, we may not even be aware that it's there. And many times it's simply attributed to old age. And we accept that we need to live with what starts out as an inconvenience, but with time can develop into chronic pain that keeps us from being active and participating in the activities that we love. So unless this chronic inflammation is addressed and minimized, your joint pain and its symptoms will continue. So let me show you another successful case study in order to see what is possible when you address inflammation at its root level. So meet Lori. Lori came to me for help with several symptoms. She had suffered from congestion her whole life. Her head was stuffy, and she recently noticed that she was constantly having to clear her throat. She found she was having trouble focusing on her work in the afternoons, and she finally decided she needed to seek help when the pain in both her hands had increased to the point that it was interfering with her job as the director of an international waste reduction project, which has her sitting many hours of the day in front of a computer. Working with me, Lori was able to remove the foods that were inflaming her joints and causing her congestion. And now that she was feeling better, she got back to enjoying those activities she had stopped doing because of her fatigue. She reconnected with her old hiking buddies, and she even picked up a new sport, pickleball. You probably have heard about that. It's been quite popular. And as a side benefit, she also lost 20 pounds, and she's kept it off for a year now. She got quick results because she identified the root cause of her inflammation. In her words, I came to Evie with joint pain in both hands. I feel so much better. I can definitely tell when I've eaten something that triggers my pain now and avoid those foods. My favorite part about doing this program, having meals in the refrigerator waiting to be pulled out, and everything was delicious. Thank you, Lori. So just to recap, everything that you've tried before has only been a temporary solution. The painkillers, lotions, gels, icing, and orthotics, they all just block the pain, which are great in the moment, but in the moment cures, but don't get rid of it. And when they wear off, you feel pain again. If you don't take measures to reduce chronic inflammation, the root cause of your pain, it will come back. So let's move on to the key reason number 2. So let me ask you, do you believe that joint pain is a normal, inevitable part of getting older? Have you ever said or heard this from a family member, friend, or even your doctor? Let me know in the chat box if you believe or ever said any of the following. I'm old and I have to accept this pain. Everyone in my family has struggled with joint pain, so I will too. It runs in my family. If I just rest and give it time, the pain will go away. The only way to get rid of pain is to take medication for it. It costs a lot to relieve joint pain permanently. Let me know if you've heard any one of those before. Put it down in the chat box so I can see. Yep. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I know. These are all things that were stories and things that we heard growing up, and we believe them. Okay. So, I'm sure you guys get that, right? It resonates. So let's talk about why these beliefs or misconceptions are actually holding you back from alleviating your long-term pain. So the truth is, even though you have a genetic tendency towards joint pain, it's not strictly related to age. Simple dietary and lifestyle changes can help manage your joint pain and improve the overall quality of your life. And just because arthritis runs in your family doesn't mean you're destined to have chronic debilitating pain and lack of mobility. We've learned so much over the recent years about how our lifestyle can actually alter the expression of our genes. And in fact, new information is coming to light about this all the time. So I don't know if you've heard of epigenetics. Epigenetics is an emerging area of scientific research that shows how the environment and life experiences can affect your gene expression. And it's never too late to adopt new habits. So this means that the old idea that genes are set in stone has been disproven. Nature versus nurture is no longer a debate. So yes, we do have control over our aging bodies. And just because your grandmother suffered from debilitating hand and foot pain due to arthritis doesn't mean that you're destined to the same fate. And what about resting and waiting for the pain just to go away? Well, believe it or not, just the opposite is true. If your pain is due to an injury like a sprained ankle, as I mentioned before, that might be the case. But with chronic inflammation, motion is lotion. You need to take action literally to reduce inflammation before long-term irreversible damage develops. And let's discuss the thought that the only way to get rid of pain is by taking medications. First off, let me stress, this is important. If you've been prescribed medications by your doctor, do not stop taking them by all means. Modern medicine is wonderful. It's constantly evolving using cutting-edge technology and making wonderful discoveries on curing diseases every day. However, conventional Western medicine is designed to diagnose and treat dis-ease once it's already present, not address the root cause of the pain. So in other words, medications are good at managing our symptoms once they show up, rather than addressing what's causing them in the first place and minimizing their expression. So let me repeat that because this is important. Medications are good at managing our symptoms rather than addressing what's causing them in the first place. The reality is, taking medications is not the only way to manage joint pain and the many other symptoms of chronic inflammation. There are many straightforward, holistic methods to alleviate pain and fatigue without relying on prescription medications. And prescription meds can be expensive too, not to mention the cost of the medical care needed down the line if you put off prioritizing your health now. Holistic methods that use nutrition and lifestyle to manage pain don't include expensive painkillers or supplements or procedures. You just need to be open to trying them and trust the process. Put a yes in the chat box if you're open to trying new approaches to managing your joint pain. All right, Anna, yes. Wonderful. Patricia, yes. All good. Wonderful. So this was the case with my client, Angie, who came to me after dealing with all kinds of doctors and specialists to help manage their pain. She was taking a myriad of pills for the pain and then medications to manage the side effects of those medications. So after working with me for several months, she was able to talk to her doctors about reducing her meds and even eliminating a few. She couldn't believe it. She had spent so many hours and a lot of money on trying to cure her pain. She couldn't believe she could control it using nutrition and adapting specific lifestyle habits to minimize her inflammation. And as an added bonus, she realized that the bloating and gas that she'd been struggling with for years suddenly subsided. She never understood the connection before and never knew what was causing it. The takeaway here is that you do have the ability to take control of your health other than taking medications or other methods that only mask the symptoms. Nutrition and healthy lifestyle choices are a crucial part of your healing transformation. And here we are to reason number 3. Reason number 3 of what you're doing isn't working because you've been trying to do this on your own. The reason you showed up here today is to learn how to reduce your nagging joint pain, which has been draining your energy levels and just plain making you feel older than you are. After my struggle with chronic inflammation and joint pain, I learned everything I could about it and then applied these principles to my lifestyle. I was able to stay on track with an actual plan that gave me long-lasting results because it specifically targeted the root cause of my joint pain and fatigue. I followed all the principles that I'm teaching you here tonight and I help my clients do the same. So this is what I discovered what works. And you may want to grab a pen and paper and take some notes here. So I realized that in order for me and my clients to effectively alleviate joint pain and fatigue, these 5 things are required. Element number 1, you need to address the root cause of the pain, and that is chronic inflammation, and not just cover it up with a Band-Aid fix, something that we've been talking about already. Number 2, I needed a proven method, a step-by-step plan to help me every step of the way, so I knew exactly what to do and why. Since chronic inflammation doesn't occur overnight, nor is there a miracle cure, I knew I had to have more of a plan that allows my body to help heal itself. Once I did that, I saw remarkable changes occur. I stopped focusing on the things that didn't work and began focusing on those that did. Element number 3, I began to address more than just blocking pain with the medications that were being marketed or prescribed to me. I had to dig deeper. So first of all, I needed to bust through the myth that my pain was inevitable and I had no control over it. I began to look at all the aspects of my life, and that included what I ate and the things I was doing that were not supporting my desire to alleviate my pain and fatigue. I identified and adopted 5 keystone habits and learned how to incorporate them into my already busy lifestyle. So, type yes in the chat box if you'd like to know more about these 5 keystone habits. Yes. Anna says yes. Marianne says yes. Excellent. So I will tell you then. Wonderful. These 5 keystone habits are the key elements that work together to help reduce inflammation at its root. Keystone habit number 1, a healthy anti-inflammatory way of eating. This was at the core of my healing journey. I call it a way of eating rather than a diet because it's not a diet. Where most diets are very restrictive, this is a flexible way of eating that encourages me to listen to my body and identify the foods that nourish and support me. Keystone habit number 2 is to add in movement. I made a point of adding in movement every day and made it fun, so it became a natural part of my daily routine. Keystone habit number 3, I made sure I was getting a good night's sleep by adopting healthier nighttime routines. You have to remember, sleep isn't just a time to rest. Your body is healing and regenerating itself during this very important time, especially if it has injury from inflammation. Keystone habit number 4 is learning to manage stress. Stress can be a major trigger for inflammation, so I began to incorporate ways to use stress productively. I learned to identify my stress triggers and use simple, in-the-moment de-stressing techniques when I needed them. And keystone habit number 5 is to avoid environmental toxins. So did you know there are chemicals and toxins all around us? They're in our skincare products and our household cleaners, and they can trigger an inflammatory response. I investigated what toxins might be in my environment and took measures to eliminate them. And I continue to do this today. So these keystone habits work together to support a healthy immune system and help to reduce pain and rev up energy levels. Following these steps, I can truly say that I and my clients are living our best, vibrant lives. And dare I say, we are aging better and more slowly. So you can follow these steps on your own, but it's not easy. Trust me, I know. I've been down that path before. It took me years to figure out, something that now could take you 3 months because that's what I've been trained to do. I sure wish I had had someone to lean on in my journey to ask questions and get support. Those were the missing elements in my journey that are essential to success and were missing for me. These elements, having a professional that can help, that you can ask questions of and get support from, and accountability and a sense of community for additional support, were the last essential elements needed to effectively reduce inflammation to alleviate your joint pain, discomfort, and fatigue. And that's why I developed a program to fast track women just like yourself who want to get natural relief from their joint pain so they can stop searching for something that might work and really start healing, essentially slowing down the aging process. So inside the joint pain protocol, my clients address the root cause of their chronic inflammation and work through all the aspects of the 5 keystone habits that I just mentioned: nutrition, movement, sleep, stress management, and avoiding environmental toxins.
He hasn't said specific foods.
It's a step-by-step plan so they know exactly what to do every step of the way. And even better, they get one-on-one support from me and support and accountability as part of a group of like-minded women. True transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it will. And one day you'll be getting out of bed every morning feeling great and feeling positive about the future again, just as I did. Now, after everything that you've learned tonight about addressing the root cause of your joint pain, why the old way of addressing your joint pain won't work, and why the new way can truly transform your health, would you like to continue doing what you're doing? That is, using those messy creams, gels, and medications that only temporarily mask the problem? Or would you like to start permanently reducing your inflammation using the simple 5 keystone strategies that I outlined here tonight? Type yes in the chat box if you're open to trying something new that works. All right. I got a yes, Marianne, right? Very good. Yes, Roberta. Wonderful. Yes, Patricia. Oh, maybe. Okay. Yes. Yes, Anna. All right. Wonderful. And what about the added benefits of accountability and support? I don't know about you, but I find it much more likely to do something if I promise I'll show up. For instance, I had this walking buddy, and we meet up once a week in the early morning, which always sounds like such a great idea in the summer. But when it comes to the fall and it's dark in the morning and it's cold, it gets really a lot harder to do. But since I don't want to let them down, I show up because I have someone else depending on me. So making this commitment is a great way to stay accountable. It's a win-win. Say yes in the chat if you think you could be more successful if you had more support and accountability. Got some yeses coming in. Very good. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's do a review of the 3 key reasons we just went over about why nothing is relieving your joint pain and what you can do about it. And here's what you learned during our time together today. Are you ready? All right. Reason number 1, you learned that what you're doing now to alleviate your joint pain isn't working because you're not addressing the root cause of your pain. Most conventional methods for dealing with pain relief rely on temporarily deadening our ability to feel the pain, but not addressing chronic inflammation that is at the root of the pain. Reason number 2, we debunked many of the misconceptions many of us have about pain and how to deal with it. And now you understand that it's not your fault. These are the stories we've been hearing and telling ourselves our whole lives. Joint pain is not due to old age or bad genes, nor is the solution to rely solely on prescription medications to alleviate it. And we can't just sit back and wish it away because it isn't just going to go away on its own. Reason number 3, support and accountability is super powerful when it comes to transformation. I walked you through the exact method that I used and use with all my clients to minimize the inflammation to alleviate their joint pain, help them regain their energy levels, and get back to participating in a full active life again. So you showed up today because you wanted to alleviate your joint pain and fatigue using more natural methods to achieve long-term solutions. You wanted a simpler way to achieve more pain-free movement without having to rely on yet more medications or other methods you're currently using that don't seem to be working. You want to stop feeling sidelined by the pain that keeps you from participating in the activities you love. And you don't want to get back to being your previous self. Or I'm sorry, you do want to get back to being your previous self. You know, the one that woke up feeling refreshed in the morning and looking forward to the possibilities of the new day. And at the beginning of this training, I made you a promise. I promised to show you how you can really alleviate your joint pain, stop relying on painkillers, topical rubs, and steroid injections that only give short-term relief, and get back to doing the things you love to do. Now, here's the thing I want you to remember. Everything I've shared with you today isn't some random theory or some idea that I think might work for you. Everything I talked you through today, what I talked with you through today, works. It worked for me. It works for my clients, who all started from a similar spot from where you are right now. I'm not special and they're not special. We all have busy lives that were hampered by pain and fatigue. If they can do it, I'm so confident that you can too. I already know that you can achieve a true health transformation as long as you have accountability and a plan to follow. So basically, you're halfway there already. So, would you like me to help you manage your joint pain and chronic inflammation for good? Type yes in the chat if you would like this. Yes. All right, Marianne, thank you. Yes. Wonderful. All right. So now you have a choice. Choice A, you can continue to do what you're doing, using all of the over-the-counter and prescription medications, messy lotions and gels, restrictive orthotic shoes and braces, and alternative therapies, hoping that they work, even though it never has before. Or choice B, you can choose the simpler path and use the joint pain protocol that comes with a proven system and accountability and support so you can get to your goal. The choice is yours. Type an A or B in the chat, where A is the old way that doesn't work, or B is the simpler way. Got a B. B, awesome. Yes, wonderful. Now, throughout the webinar, you heard me mention the joint pain protocol, and this is how I can help you take control of your joint pain and get back to living an active whole life again. Would it be okay if I took a couple of minutes to share how I can best help you? Type yes in the chat if that's okay with you. My job is to give you the right information so that you can achieve long-term results. Yes, all right, wonderful. Okay, good. So if that's okay, we'll do that, and then we'll move on to the question and answers, and I'm here to answer all of your questions. Okay, so awesome. So I'm so honored to be sharing this opportunity with you because the best way I can help you is to personally support each of you. So what I've done is I've set aside some time over the next 4 to 5 days to speak with you personally about how I can support you to apply what we've talked about today and begin to eliminate your joint pain within the next 3 months. I do that with a call called the Joint Pain Assessment. And I know while I'm certainly not the only holistic provider in the health and wellness industry, there are a lot of other people who do it, which is great. I'm the best at working with women who want natural relief from joint pain so they can stop relying on their pain medications and fully participate in their vibrant lives. I transformed my own life and my clients' lives, so here's what to do next. I'm pasting a link in the chat box so that you can schedule your 45-minute joint pain assessment call with me now. And hopefully this will work. Yes, it did. Okay. Sometimes that doesn't want to work for me. So the link is in the chat box right now. And I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what it'll look like when you get over to my online scheduler. So once you're here, you'll notice my scheduling calendar. It's easy to schedule a call. Step 1, pick a day. Step 2, pick a time. Step 3, click continue to schedule the meeting. You'll be sent to a second page where you can enter your contact information. And after you schedule your call, you'll get a confirmation email to remind you of our appointment. So please enter this information into your calendar so we can connect. The calls are done over the phone. I'll contact you at the start of the call. Easy peasy, right? So now that you've seen how to schedule your joint pain assessment with me, I want to cover a couple of specifics. In the assessment call, I'll work with you to create your simple and personalized plan to manage and alleviate your joint pain and regain your energy levels. We'll get clear on things such as your specific goal and why you want it, any obstacles and challenges that might derail your success, and any self-sabotage that's happening. This way, by the time the call is over, you'll leave with helpful strategies that propel your success, whether that means moving ahead on your own, working with me in the joint pain protocol, or if neither of those are appropriate, helping to steer you to a referral. So this is not a sales call. It's truly a call designed to give you professional advice so that you can move forward to achieving your individual goals. Does that sound good? Type yes in the chat if you know that having a call like this would help you. You're welcome, Bobby. Wonderful. Very good, Marianne. Yes, wonderful. All right. So here's the important thing to know. This call is 100% free. And if you're thinking, okay, there must be a catch to this. You just told me all of the ways you're going to help me. So why is this call free? I don't blame you. Yeah. First off, the call is free because it's my mission in life. Literally, my life's work is to support women who are suffering as I did. I have a core value in my business where I offer value first. I start off by just helping you with this masterclass and with the call. I know that I can help you overcome some of the barriers that have been stopping you from achieving your pain relief in a super short period of time. Second, I know that there are many of you listening that want more personalized support and accountability. If you are someone who knows that in order for you to succeed, you need that, then great. We can discuss the next steps in the call to determine if you're a right fit for the joint pain protocol. And if not, that's completely okay. You'll leave the call with so much more value, clarity, and confidence. And of course, we'll still be friends. There is one catch, though. Always a catch, right? This call is not for you if you won't take personal responsibility for success. If you're looking for a quick fix or a magic pill, so to speak, as a way to alleviate pain where you don't care if it supports your long-term health. You're not patient with yourself. You're not committed to dedicating time to improving your health and well-being, or you're not open-minded to a new way of doing things. So look, I know that this system works. I've shown you examples throughout this training of some of my clients who have had success, and there's a reason that they achieved the health transformation they desired without worrying if they were taking the right steps or what steps to take. Because of this, they've gotten back to doing what they love to do, playing an active role in their social lives once more. My clients were committed to their goals. I truly want success for my clients and for you, but I can't be the only one putting in the effort. I believe and know 100% that when you commit to the goals using this system, then you will achieve success. So the first step is to schedule that joint pain assessment call. This call is for you if you are tired of trying things that don't work or the things you think you should do and ready to focus on the proven system that does. Know that the road to success isn't straight, it's windy, but you're committed. You want to learn about a holistic, natural approach to natural pain control, and you're coachable and ask for support and accountability. If this is you, if you are someone who wants the support and accountability so that you can sidestep all of those obstacles that used to hold you back, then make sure you schedule your call right now because the spots are limited. I don't have a call center doing these calls. Yep, it's just me. And you and I are going to jump on the phone call together so I can do my absolute best to support you. So even if you've tried other diets and programs and other alternative therapies and it hasn't worked, or even if you don't have unlimited time and resources, this works. This works for you because it's based on proven methods to reduce the inflammation that is at the root cause of your pain and fatigue, and includes the support and accountability that traditional methods don't. There are nuances that only an expert can help you with because there are many factors involved that traditional programs don't cover. For instance, your individuality, your lifestyle, your diet preferences, and your time commitments. We all have lives. No one exists in a vacuum. So head on over to the online calendar to secure your joint pain assessment right now, because there's a very big difference between trying to figure this out on your own and working with an expert who has a track record of success. So let me add it in again. How's that? All right. And hopefully you can all see that there. So it's in the chat box. If you just click on it, it will go directly to the sign in, that calendar page that I told you about. All right, look in the chat box, okay? And afterwards I can send it out to you if you need it. Wonderful. Okay, so let's get through some commonly asked questions that I've been asked about the assessment call. And if you have any more questions, please add them to the chat box so that I can answer them, all right? So question number one, These first two are kind of the same. My doctor says I need a hip replacement in the near future. Is it still worth it to book a call? And I'm taking cortisone shots and prescription painkillers now. Can I still book a call? The answer is it's never too late to take steps to improve your health. Of course, it's important to communicate with your doctor and keep them informed of your healthcare goals. And as I mentioned earlier, modern medicine is a wonderful thing. And I just recently had my hip replaced, right? I feel great, but I credit my rapid recovery to my current lifestyle using the 5 keystone habits. Reducing inflammation can only help support the treatment you're already receiving from your doctor, resulting in a quicker recovery and reducing the need for the treatments you're currently doing. We can talk further about this where you are in your health journey in our joint pain assessment call together. So I've already had a joint replacement. Is it too late to seek other methods? No, it's not too late. Just as I mentioned, an anti-inflammatory lifestyle will help with healing as well as keeping your other joints healthy and preventing further damage. So I look forward to our talk together. Let me just see. Yes, here we go. I've been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and this could be anything from osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, gout, lupus, Lyme disease. So I've been diagnosed with autoimmune disease. Is this something you can still work with? So the answer is yes. The root cause of all autoimmune diseases is chronic inflammation. By following the 5 keystone habits, you'll be reducing the factors causing inflammation that's causing your flare-ups. However, it's important to note that while reducing chronic inflammation can significantly alleviate your symptoms and improve your overall well-being, it may not completely eliminate all the symptoms of an autoimmune disease. We can talk about your specific circumstances in our joint pain assessment call together. Do I have to go off my meds to book a call? No, I firmly believe that modern medicine and holistic measures work hand in hand with one another. You don't have to do one or the other. I do believe that taking control of your health using holistic measures will actually help support the treatments you're already receiving from your current health practitioner right now. So you can book a call. And what if I'm already working with another practitioner? I'm here to support you in conjunction with your doctor and other health practitioners. But I'm not here to discuss your medication. That's something for you to discuss with your doctor. I can, however, provide recommendations that you can use alongside those of your practitioners. I don't have time to do this right now. Should I still book a call? Yep. It seems that there's never enough time or a good time to make changes, but transformation cannot occur without action. So even if you aren't ready at this moment, book a call and I can help you find clarity on what your health goals are and what path looks best for you. I would like to discuss this with my spouse first. Should I still book a call? Absolutely. Having support is essential to your success, and your spouse is a critical part of this. You might also find it helpful to have our call first so you have more clarity on what you'd like to achieve when you talk with your spouse. Either way, I look forward to helping you achieve clarity around your health goals on the assessment call. Here's the link again in case you need it. And for some reason, I lost the slide, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm going to end my share here. Awesome. All right. So can't see the sign-up schedule. Please contact me. And I'd be like, okay. So, okay, Marianne. So it didn't work for you? Like I said, technology is wonderful until it's not. You know what I will do is I will contact you through Facebook, through an instant message, and we can unmute ourselves too, if you'd like.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. And
Perfect.
I was wondering too, you said this could help with sleep also. That's
Yes.
another part that I'm interested in.
Great. Absolutely. There is a whole
Okay.
module just on sleep.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Good. All right. Wonderful. We could talk more about that, when we are on the assessment call. That sounds great.
Thank you so
Wonderful.
much. Thanks,
Yeah.
Evie.
Excellent.
Enjoyed it.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Are there any other questions? Okay, Patricia says, okay, I saw that. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, then thank you so much for showing up this evening. I hope you learned something from this. I look forward to talking to everyone who has booked a call, and I will see you in the future then.